Good evening, everybody. DW Pastor Barry here. Just got off my TikTok live video for the night. We did another deliverance teaching. That's 4 nights in a row. It's been going really well. I think everybody really appreciated what we taught on tonight. It was just a list of things that Derek Prince had made for deliverance, and I added my own little notes. I need to revise it and go over it again at some point, because I've learned so much since 11 years ago when I wrote that list down. We are on Daily Guideposts Devotional from 1979. It is Thursday night. It's almost midnight. Just barely made it on in time. Good night at church tonight. Had some visitors. It was good to see them. Had some healing prayer for one brother. And, of course, the praise and worship. So we had the misfortune of having an experience here at the home today. I was sitting right here at my desk. Sister Julie was in her bed taking a nap, and her grandson Isaac was next to her. And we've had the kids, Tristan, Kayla, and Jackson, around a lot, and they've been in and out, cutting grass and doing stuff. And they had left, and I didn't know they were gone. And I heard the door open. The door wasn't locked. I heard the door open. Somebody came in. The dogs went crazy from their kennels, barking. And the person, it was a man going shh, 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 trying to quiet the dogs. And I couldn't tell from here who it was, so I just left it alone. I figured it was one of the guys because I didn't know they were gone. And then the dogs wouldn't stop barking. And then they finally quieted down. And I went out and I asked Julie who it was. She said, I have no idea. So we texted the guys and it wasn't them. So we don't know who it was. Somebody came in the home. Somebody walked right in here. It was around 5 p.m. this evening. Tried to hush the dogs, and when the dogs wouldn't be quiet, they took off. Never a dull moment around here, I'll tell you that much. That's the first time anyone's came in here when we were home. We've had people in the home before in the past. When we first moved in a couple of years ago, somebody had gotten in. Fortunately, they didn't take anything. Anyway, I'm not going to get into that too much, but thank God he kept us safe today. Nobody was harmed. We don't know who it was. We don't know what they wanted. But we have to remember to keep our doors locked, and I always lock them. It's just the other people who are still learning to keep your doors locked in the daytime. It's just good advice, especially in the times that we're living in now. All right, we are on January the 18th in this devotional. There is a quote by Sam Walter Foss. Never heard of them? That says, "Let me live in my house by the side of the road and be a friend of man." I think I've heard something like that before. Okay, they do not have a Bible verse listed here, so I guess we will not read the scriptures here tonight. That's fine. Sometimes we just don't have a verse to read. I'm not going to take the time to go hunting one down tonight. Let's read what the author has to say. Maybe it'll touch somebody, encourage you today, or whenever you watch this. The author says, "When I was a girl, I used to think I'd be a missionary." That's interesting. When I was a boy, we had missionaries come into our Baptist church on Thursday nights. On our missions night, we'd have sometimes. And there was the Bonney family back in Ontario, Canada. They were missionaries in Indonesia. And when I heard their testimony, it was probably the Holy Spirit, as a young boy, was telling me, you are a missionary too. You're going to be a missionary. And I always believed it. Amazing. That's just coming back to me now. I am a missionary. I used to think I'd be a missionary when I was a little girl, but things didn't work out that way. Now, 30 years later, I sometimes feel a twinge of regret when I read of others who had the courage to serve the Lord in this way. One day I confessed that secret longing to an elderly friend in our neighborhood, Mr. Braxton, nearly crippled with arthritis and no longer able to work. Spent his days in the front yard, smiling and waving cheery hello to each car that passed his door. When he heard of my unfulfilled dream, he said, "Shucks, what's to stop you?" "Oh, it's too late now," I replied. "I'm too old, and there's my family to consider." I couldn't leave now. My dear, he said, don't make the mountain higher than it is. Christ said, go ye into all the world. But don't you know, the rest of the world begins just outside your door. Frank Braxton was a missionary. He spread Christ's love over a bend in Old Mill Road. But he also taught me that if each person who felt this love took it a little farther on and gave it to someone else, that love could cover the globe. I can do that. You can too. That's right. We do need to be a missionary to the local people in our town, city, village, wherever we are. Father, help me to serve you wherever I am. And it's BRG. They are the initials, so maybe the author. I'm not really certain. That's a good one. That one hits home for me because I am a missionary and I love it. I've been a missionary in the Philippines and I've been a missionary here in America. And I enjoy it. It has its benefits, it has its challenges, its ups and downs, but so does life, no matter where you're at. So that's nothing new to me. But I love serving Jesus Christ every single day that I can. And now that I'm on TikTok live videos every single night, except for the occasional break, I am able to serve people in different locations in the world. I serve them for free. It's wonderful. So be encouraged. God is calling you to something, do it. Even if it's just locally. Start there. God bless you guys. I hope you have an amazing weekend coming. And I will most definitely be seeing each and every one of you in the next 1979 edition of Daily Guidepost Devotional.